It's not his name.
7:16 at KPEL. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News, and it is Firearms Friday. Sitting in for Glenn Fleming today, Chris Ortego, highbrassfirearms.com.
Oh, and Henry's here, too.
Oh, Henry's here as well.
Like, he's in that capacity now, too.
Henry's not even from Louisiana, but he is a steadfast wearer
of the what?
Of his Canes hat.
Yeah, dude, what's up with that?
Do you like Canes?
You know, I found out about Canes several years ago.
Yeah.
When I was, I come down to visit my family down here before I even moved. And I was like, holy cow, this is like amazing. So I bought a hat. That's what I do. I buy a hat. I wear a hat.
I've never seen him without a hat.
That is true. You'll probably never see me without a hat. Except
like
on
Glenn.
Sundays.
I rarely ever see him not wearing black.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing Glenn not in black is weird.
It
throws you off.
Honest to God, it is. Whenever I see him every now and again in a picture or wherever he goes to Downtown Alive, whatever, it's like, I forget that you have other colors and clothes.
What is that with that lime green?
But I'll tell you, Will, the difference is, you might like Canes and wear a hat. I usually just have a chicken tender in my hand. So, whenever you see that, now you know. Yep. We always start every Firearms Friday segment with a safety tip. And Chris, you say, a big part of safety is just having more than one gun for different needs.
The last time I was here, I talked about this, and to be honest with you, I forgot to change it out.
We'll talk about it again,
We'll talk about it again. And the main thing, we'll talk about two things. Number one, we'll talk about this is that fact that if you are involved in self-defense shooting, your firearm is going to be taken to use as evidence. And so what happens if you only own one gun? You're probably not going to see that gun for a year or so. You may never see it again. A lot of times it's a huge fight just to get it back, even if you are exonerated. I've had friends that have gotten into self-defense shootings, and they haven't seen that gun for a year and a half or so. So I honestly suggest owning more than one gun, practicing with more than one gun. That way you have that backup waiting for you at home, so you get home just in case, somebody, the person you shoot decides, well, they have a vindictive family. You have that backup.
So locally, a federal judge recently denied a request by Iberia Parish Sheriff Louis Ackal, facing a lot of charges of his own, to carry a gun. It all stems from some threats he made. Quote, unsolicited informant recently provided authorities with tapes of a conversation where he talks about the prosecutor and threatening to shoot him between his, quote, Jewish eyes. Really what it came down to, it seemed like the U.S. magistrate judge said he just can't turn a blind eye to their remarks, and therefore, despite the danger that Louis Ackal says there have been since the Baton Rouge shooting and others around the country, he cannot carry a gun.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases where I understand where the judge is coming from, and the fact that he did say that, he can't overlook that, especially as a judge, can't overlook that. But at the same time, being the sheriff of Iberia Parish, he kind of needs to. But it's hard for me to really kind of come up with an opinion on this, to be honest with you, just for the sheer fact that I understand why. I may not agree, but I understand why. But I will say this, he is probably one of the few people that can actually carry a cop with him.
It actually begs the question. My whole thought about this whole thing has been, if that's what you're doing, if you can't have it because of that, then why are you even still sheriff? I mean, it almost seems like, and I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm just saying, it seems like that's an essential part of his job, is to protect himself. People know who he is there.
Yeah, especially, he can't really go back to being, Andy Taylor.
Yeah, yeah. So some good news in Louisiana here. Among all the bad news that we have, veterans now exempt from paying state fees for getting their concealed carry permit in Louisiana. So tell us what this does for costs.
For costs overall, it's not going to change. The only thing that the veterans are going to have to pay are pretty much just the price of the class. Now, if they do decide that they want to, there's one of two ways now that you can do your application. You can do it the old paper way, which they will end up having to pay an extra $50 because $30 to $50 depending on who they go to. They still have to have a notary, and that's not part of the state fee. That's really up to the independent notaries. If they do it online, they don't need a notary anymore, and so pretty much all they have to do at that point is pay the fee of the class, which hopefully most instructors have some sort of a pretty deep discount, like I do, for veterans.
All right. We always welcome you to join the conversation. 232-1542, 232-1542. Coming up, we're going to talk about some quick processing, some changes in the processing times when it comes to concealed carry permits and online applications. We're back Firearms Friday with Chris Ortego, sitting in for Glenn Fleming today on Acadiana's Morning News. 5 at KPEL, and coming up after the bottom of the hour as promised, the interview yesterday from Go Acadiana.
Yes.
Dinesh D'Souza, the filmmaker who made Hillary's America. I talked to the guys yesterday afternoon. Really great interview. We're going to play it for you. Coming up around 7:35 this morning. But we continue with our Firearms Friday segment. Chris Ortego in for Glenn Fleming today. Woo! And some good news.
That's awesome.
Well, you know what? When you can be your own cheerleader,
That's
I'm
right,
never
bro.
going to hate on you for that.
That's right. That was great.
Somebody's got to be.
That was awesome.
Apparently, we've gotten a couple calls talking about the process when it comes to the Louisiana State Police Concealed Handgun Unit. Do you know anything about the wait times? Because I'm hearing like really good things about the wait times.
Okay, I don't know what's going on over there, but I know there was an interview done with the head of the concealed carry unit a while back and said, hey, you know, the wait times are going to go up because JBE is not allowing for overtime and this and that. So I know paper applications were taking 100. I want to say 120 days, but I don't think that's quite right. But it was 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I had to take Math 92 like 3 times. So I may be, not doing that right.
You are awesome.
But I know, and a bunch of the other instructors I've been talking to, one of them, their student, did their online application, got their fingerprints on Monday, had their card in the mail Saturday. Had it in hand on Saturday.
That is quick.
Right now, the wait times for online application submission and approval is pretty much anywhere between 1 and 3 weeks.
Okay.
Wow.
And so there's a huge push for the instructors to have our people do everything online. It's making the streamlining process so much easier.
It just makes it easier.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
So
Chris
much
Ortego, NRA certified
That too.
Firearms. You totally messed me up, Bernie. NRA Certified Firearms Instructor, teaching concealed carry, gun safety classes. The website, highbrassfirearms.com. Your classes are at Acadiana Gunworks, though, correct?
Yes.
And you have one tomorrow and one on the 20th. Is there still space in tomorrow's class?
I have one spot open for the 6th.
Okay.
And I have the 20th. I have a few people, but I still have a bunch of openings for it.
All right. You can get more information at highbrassfirearms.com. Acadiana Gunworks is in Scott on Abigail Row, right? Abigail's Row.
And I just have to say one thing on that is hunting season's coming up.
That's what Jamie said.
And for the love of God, go look. If you haven't taken your gun out of the closet since the last time you went hunting, since last December or whenever it was, take it out now. Look at it. If it needs repair, if it looks nasty. Henry loves nasty guns because it keeps him employed.
That's pretty personal.
That's right.
I mean, Henry's a new guy, Chris. Why would you do that to him?
Okay, there's a little bit of hazing, but
Bring it in
because I guarantee you, within the next month or so, there's going to be a rush.
That's right.
Because everybody's and their mothers goes, man, this hunting season's coming up. Let me look at it, and then they come in the shop and they go, can I get this in a week?
It's
that's a very bad idea. Do not bring
happen.
it to us a week before
Yeah.
season opens, expecting to get it back.
Unless you're hoping to kill your deer with a rock.
It's
pretty much.
Because it's you and everybody else in Acadiana, that wants to get their stuff fixed.
And they want it tomorrow.
And if you want it tomorrow, then you need to start bringing it in now if you want it ready for hunting season.
Okay, good point. As we wrap up, because we got to do it for time, I said last week that Henry is a single man. Like you to know that Henry is still single. So is Mr. Chris Ortego, 2 fine young men. So, we provide all kinds of services here at KPEL.
And one of the 2 likes nasty guns. We learned that today.